Aaron here from Goddard Garage / Goddard Adventure. If you haven't already, try to check out our new channel, Goddard Garage. I really do want to start putting the mechanical stuff on a separate channel. That being said, I'm not eager to lose the monetization of posting it to Goddard Adventure, so I'm going to keep probably double posting until Goddard Garage gets monetized. But today we are going to do an easy Hitch OEM hitch install with the 2024 Honda Passport here. We're going to do an install that doesn't require taking off the bumper cover and doesn't require taking off the inside panel to get to the electric harness connection. We do it a little bit differently than most. Along the video I'll kind of explain my reasoning, but the end result that I'm after is a nice clean look, maybe a little bit custom, while along the way making sure it's an easy install. So go ahead and like and subscribe to both those channels if you don't mind, and I hope you enjoy this easy hitch install. We ordered the Honda OEM hitch here because it comes, basically it's built higher up into the vehicle. All the aftermarket stuff comes underneath that little kick plate in the back, whereas the OEM one is built up into the kick plate, which for off-roading means more clearance, more better. Kick plate, sounds like hardware. Hopefully those weren't eggs. And then pretty nice feeling hitch here. Let's see, so I guess it would be this way.
Yep.
So for our install, what we're thinking is that we kind of like the silver kick plate. I'm not installing the OEM 6-pin wire plug. The 6-pin plug, you can see that this has a nice place for it to, it's notched out so that it can screw in right there. If we're thinking about modifying that one to just allow the hitch to pop out a little bit. And then we're using a 4-pin plug, which is the same as what we've been using on our Pilot, which we'll just tuck up underneath the car. Well, it has a little tether here where you just kind of stow it up underneath the vehicle, which works fine for me. None of my trailer harnesses have a 6-pin plug, so I'd have to use an adapter anyways. So this ends up being cheaper as well, and I like cheaper. So we're gonna try to roughly measure out this much shape on the factory kick plate there, and I've got to decide, I'm going to do some testing here. We've got to decide if we're going to use the Dremel cutoff tool, which is a spinning disc, to cut the plastic, or are we going to use my snips. I've been having pretty good success in my robot building career with the snips. They cut through plastic and stuff pretty well, but we have to do a test cut to make sure it's not going to shatter the plastic as it cuts it. If it cuts it, it's good. If it cracks it, not good. This is the first time I'm about to do destructive modification to our new Honda Passport.
Potentially destructive.
No, we're cutting it. There's no coming back. When you cut it, you can't put it back. I'm gonna do a little exploratory cut to see how this material cuts. I mean, you're not gonna see it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna cut the corner off of one of these. There's some unused tabs down here. Cuts like butter. So yeah, I think I'm gonna choose to use this tool instead of cutoff wheel. The cutoff wheel, when you use it, you should use masking tape around the outside, and then that helps reduce the burring or the cutting. But it produces friction, and the friction melts the plastic, and that creates a very rough edge. So I think if I'm very careful with this, this is going to give me more control and hopefully produce a better cut. All right, so we did some measuring, and from what appears to be the same line here down is about 5.5 inches. And when you look at this line, it appears that I think this comes down lower is what I think, but I don't know if that's exactly possible. Anyways, it doesn't matter. If we make a cut and it's a lower cut, we can always come up a little higher, which is what we're gonna do.
So we're gonna start low and work our way up.
Yeah.
Always inside. then you can always make it more out afterwards.
All right, so I think I'm gonna cut forward and then I'm gonna cut this flappy part off. I think that's gonna be the best way to mitigate.
And if worse comes to worse and this doesn't work, we just use the black trim piece. So that's fine, but we like the piece that matches the car a little bit better.
Also, in a way, this is a lot less work because theoretically I don't have to take off the bumper cover to do this.
Right.
Which is easier said than done in a way. The if it was flat, obviously I'd have a pretty easy go at it, but it's not flat. You can also see the paint on here is
dirty.
Pretty easy to mar. Doesn't take much to scratch that.
Right. You're higher on that side, I think.
Which side? This side?
This one, but that's fine.
The last cut might have to be a razor blade cut, depending
that
how
might work better anyways. Be more precise.
No, it's very easy to overcut with a razor blade. Might.
Hey, Fanny. What you doing, mister? Mr. Big Ears? Oh yeah, that's nice.
It's still gonna be hard to get a straight cut though. It came up to the inside.
Push. I would just try to push it in and get it in there, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna score it more. It's pretty thick plastic. Technically, if we keep doing that over and over,
it will eventually
we'll accomplish our goal of cutting through.
Just a wee bit more wiggling. There we go, and I think that looks pretty darn good, actually.
Yeah, now we have to see if the
hitch fits through it.
Hitch fits through, or in. Boxes. So this is my toolbox I've been using for, I don't know how many years now, probably 10 years. But it's just a random cheapo set from Walmart that I got. But over the years, I modified the box, cutting out portions of it and making, you know, secret little compartments. But the amount of stuff that this same size toolbox holds, the difference is actually really incredible. We got spark plug sockets. We got tons of extensions, just extensions galore. I mean, all kinds of bits. This, someone should copy a design like this for a car kit where it's a hyper dense packed car tool kit, because normally they're not very dense. All right, what size are these? Socket, nuts, bolts. Ah, I could have guessed.
10?
19.
I'm just kidding.
Always 19. Okay, stop. Now hold that in. All right, so a couple of things I'm noticing. One, I want to cut off this bracket right here because I don't need it. Two, this tab right here is also interfering. Three, we cut our freaking slit too high, dear. Come look. I mean, it's not that too high, but boy, we could have gone a lot lower. It might work out just because this side's not up all the way, and I don't think yours is quite up all the way.
No, mine's not up all the way.
So we'll see what we can do here. All right.
Watch out, Finny.
Call me crazy, but I'm sticking with my 4-pin setup.
You're crazy.
Yeah, so I'm literally cutting off part of the OEM hitch receiver here. I'm just gonna cut off the bracket.
Don't cut it too close to the bar though.
Well, I'm gonna try to cut it off in a way that if I had to, I could re-weld it back on. That's my plan.
But don't damage the bar, this thing.
Why not?
Because that's the structural part of it.
If I ever decide to go back to this factory cover that we just threw crap all over, then I'm reserving the right to weld this back on so I can use it here. But I don't anticipate doing that because I don't want it to...
All of our trailers don't have that type of...
Well, they don't have that, and I want to maximize my clearance, not interfere. And not that this would likely be the lowest point on the rear, but it is one of the catch points. So we're good. All right, I guess we'll let that dry for a moment before we put it up. We are a little worried about our hole. There was no way of knowing. We measured the best of our ability, but it looked like maybe quarter to half inch lower would have looked a little bit better. That being said, we didn't get it fully screwed up yet, so maybe that gap will be a smidge less than it looks.
Upside down.
Well, crooked. You'd be really careful putting in, even with the socket, just to make sure it's going in straight.
You're not going to use the drill thing?
I won't be able to on this one anyways because of the muffler, dear. Alright, so we're in, not cross-threaded. Very, very, very good. Alright, so on this side, I'm going to take the two that I got Loctite on, I'm going to take them up most of the way, and then I'll back out the one that you have that's holding it up pretty far.
Put some Loctite on it, you're saying?
Yeah, I gotta put some Loctite on it. Alright, so the hitch pin hole here has some interference with the bumper cover, so I'm gonna need to cut diagonal or back from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So it's not perfect, but I did get the under trim area cut to allow the hitch pin in. We'll have to see how much it interferes. I can always cut it out to this line here more and then notch it like a square. But for now, I think I'm gonna keep it just like it is. I did a little bit more careful trimming with the razor blade, and I got it to a place where I'm happy. From a distance, I'd say it looks pretty good. Now to move on to the wiring harness. Last step here is to figure out this wiring harness. Gonna take out the tray here. Whoa. This tray right here has clips on each side that you have to undo. I already did them just to kind of see how they work, but you pull the clip towards you, and you can reach underneath to get to this one and this one, or you can reach in here to get to it. So as you can see, we've got the CURT 56291. It says it's for passports up to the year 2020. This is a 2024, so we'll have to see if it works. We'll have this linked on our Amazon affiliate page underneath our passport accessories. So let's open this up here. After reading the directions, it should be pretty simple here. I already installed the 10 amp fuse here. We've got to find a ground for this, which found a little 10 millimeter nut right here that'll be perfect for grounding this. Got to figure out how to get that plug onto here, and then we have to go into the engine bay and find where this 30 amp towing fuse goes. But I think if there's a will, there's a way. Oh, Here we go, listen. Boom. Plug connected. Just gotta route this cable up into here. Let's go ahead and ground this little cable. All right, now we gotta feed this through this grommet right here. So, oh yeah, that was easy. It just went straight up. Over time, I very well may change the routing of this. Actually, before we get too much further, let's go ahead and adjust the grommet. All right, I'm gonna modify this grommet right here so that it can slide over this cable. All right, let's go ahead and modify this plug right here so that the wire, which I shouldn't have stuck in the snippers here, can go through it. So I'm just gonna cut into it a bit there. I think I'm gonna snip just a little wider right here. Make room for the cable to fit like that. I've got liquid electrical tape or liquid tape in the mail, and once it arrives, I'll go ahead and cover that with it. As you can see, that's looking pretty good. It's not going to take much silicone or anything to cover that up. I wasn't really videoing that. So, looks kind of ridiculous, but I just got it looped around here. This plug, like I said, that I've zip tied is what holds it up and keeps it in there. Then from the back, you can't see it. Now, the downside, of course, is that you have to get under the car or at least know where to reach to unplug it to get it ready. The plus side is we don't have a the 6-pin socket hanging down here. I think the 6-pin socket would have been even lower than this, and in my opinion, for off-road, that's just asking to have it damaged. So since we didn't need it, we didn't do it. But come look how cool this is. I was able to get it plugged in, got it taped, but look how good I did on the grommet, cutting a special path into it so that the cable could run through it. And then I have it's called liquid tape coming. It's basically just, I could put silicone on that too.
Right there on that little
yeah, where you see the light coming through.
Yeah,
we'll seal it up so water can't get in, so when we're water fording through mirror height water.
yeah, right,
when we have our snorkel on in the future.
Oh gosh.
Trailer e-brake. There we go. Trailer electronic brake. 30 amp fuse found. Boom. We got it.
Cool.
Yep, that was the last part.
Ta-da.
Well, I don't think that was the easiest install ever, but we did get to keep our silver kick plate, and I think that paired with the oversized exhaust tips really set the 2024 Honda Passport Trail Sport apart. Hondas tend to be a little bland in the rear, but our Passport has just enough pizzazz. Hope you guys enjoyed this install. Hope you guys catch us on the next adventure. Aaron, out.